Time now for Better Money Boston, here with Joel Johnson, managing partner at Johnson Brunetti. Nearly 60% of baby boomers own at least one retirement account. Joel, the question is, what do we do with these 401ks once we retire?
Well, and typically the younger somebody is, the more they've changed jobs, which means we've had folks come into the office that had 3, 4, 5 different types of 401ks or 403bs and so on. The first step is simplify. I mean, my goodness, you don't need 2 IRAs, 3 401ks. If you're married, your spouse has 2 or 3 accounts. We've had people come in that have 12 or 13 different retirement accounts. We want to simplify those accounts, get them down to as few as possible. Maybe one person in the household has just 2 accounts and the other person has 2 or 3, so we can manage them better. We can pay proper attention to each account. All
right, so start by simplifying. Do rollovers play a role here?
Well, absolutely, because if you think about it, one of the ways to simplify is roll over money from old 401ks and consolidate them into an IRA. Now, there's some other details on rollovers we'll get to in a minute, but the key here is, again, simplify and make them easy to manage. Whether you're working with a financial advisor or not, it's just easier to manage one account than it is 3 or 4. It makes more sense with investment strategies and so on. So again, we want to roll that money over into 1 or 2 accounts, as few accounts as possible.
The age 59 and a half is rattling around in my head. I feel like that's an important age,
yes,
correct?
Almost every large company, you're able to roll money out of a 401k when you're 59 and a half. Smaller companies, some will and some won't. But larger companies, like many of those around our area, once you turn 59 and a half, even if you're still working, you can roll that money over. You might want different products or funds that are not available in that 401k.
And you want to take into account those tax liabilities here?
You've got to take into account tax liabilities of rolling money over. You don't want to cash something out. That gets, that has you get whacked with taxes. And then the last thing we want to do is we want to look at the pros and cons of a rollover. Sometimes rolling money over doesn't make sense. So there's a few different things that your financial advisor should discuss with you before you make that final rollover decision.
Tell us about the free book you have.
Yeah, well, my partner wrote a book called The Ultimate 401k Guide. And what you want to get is you want to get a copy of this book because it'll give you all the ins and outs of old retirement accounts, new retirement accounts, whatever you might have as far as 401ks and 403bs.
Get it today. Go to bettermoneyboston.com to receive it. That's bettermoneyboston.com.